Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, Bitcoin, and the Sigma coin. So, all right, starting out with XRP on our daily, we're starting to see some green shoots here where we have the daily momentum on this indicator starting to point that we are turning blue, which is a good sign, right? So there's where that looks like. We've got our faster indicator down here at the bottom crossing the 50-yard line. Very good. Now we just need to get this guy to catch up on our daily to continue pushing XRP higher. 4 hour is also working on getting stronger. We've been able to reclaim, backtest, and hopefully hold the 8-day moving average at this point. So we're going to want to be watching that, see if we can continue marching higher because we need this 4 hour to feed into the daily to give us the green triple confirmation across that indicator, this one and that one. And then finally, we need that all to roll into our 3-day because remember, very important to remember this, our 3-day is still not ready, right? So it's still not green again. We had green, it looked like it was going, you wanted to start putting your orders in, and now we wicked below, flipped back red, and we did that, I believe, right up at this level, and then we ended up capitulating and falling that lower level. So it did give us that warning. It's still giving us that warning. So there is a chance that this 3-day could continue a further rollover, okay? And so here's this Sunday, December 21st, so that's tomorrow, is when we print our new candle. So if we get enough strength on our daily to push up in here and our 4 hour to continue higher, then we're good to go, right? So that's the biggest thing that we need to see. Get this to happen here, and then we can roll over and be good to go, or not roll over and be good to go this way. So now, what does this primarily rely upon? Well, it relies upon Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's 6-day, which is our main very delayed indicator, so you're definitely not going to hit the tops, you're not going to hit the bottoms, when this tells you that, we missed all this if you had bought this right here. So you're not going to be perfectly sniped into these positionings when you go into them, but you are going to get a majority of the meat on the move. So you will have to decide on the lower time frames if you're in fact going to bid Bitcoin here. So, and Bitcoin ultimately will lead into XRP. So Bitcoin has also reclaimed the 8-day moving average, also has the 4 hour starting to cool off a little bit, and its daily, I believe, is also looking good. So its daily, no, not yet. It's the same exact setup, right? Basically one big trade. So all things rely on Bitcoin. So what we want to see for Bitcoin here on the shorter time frames is we want Bitcoin to stop being silly and don't come back down into this gap fill, which it looks like it wants to, right? It's kind of finding support here and it rolls over and falls to 85. And then when that happens, that's probably resulting in the completion of any bullish continuation. And we might roll over again and sweep the lows of the whole thing. But perfect world is we just get past these guys. Every single one of these is basically a lower low or a lower high, I'm sorry. And so you can see lower high. This is a wick, a lower high. So what we need is this guy to change trend. We need to get back up above 90,500, get into here, work through this. And if we do that, we are out of here. So this is all eyes on Bitcoin this weekend. Can we maintain the 8-day moving average? Can we get above the 21-day moving average and move into here and keep this momentum, which is currently good on the 1 hour, looking to continue on the 4 hour, and hopefully give us some positiveness on the daily, right? So we were way down here, and now we need this to go upwards, please. Up. Thank you. So that is really just where we're at, right? Literally within the next 24, 48 hours, we will know if we're sweeping down low. But as of right now, Bitcoin's saying that that's a potential per this indicator on the daily. The 6-day for Bitcoin is saying it's not time yet, but we know that this is delayed. So you have to start taking some shots on levels that you like. And that ultimately spills over to XRP's 3-day here, which will then eventually hopefully turn back to green and we can get out of here. But be aware, it's currently saying that it was trying for a breakout, didn't take it, and now we're looking to see if we can try again. So, and this almost reminds me again of back here where we had a green print, and then it fell down more, and then we had another green print, and then it essentially, this one, it said it was red, and if you had listened to it, you did have a chance to get out at a higher price, but then you had that one last capitulation that came down here mid-range. Now, super oversold at that point. It had just gotten super oversold, right? And it wasn't even very low, with this middle indicator. Come over here, extremely low. super oversold for a very long time. And this guy's pointing up, and I believe over here that this guy was, yeah, just had gotten above the line. So we're there we go. Yeah, right there. It's already had fallen. So we're pointing up. So it looks like it's a little bit different time period on momentum. So that's keeping me optimistic that this next candle here on the 21st will print bullish. So, all right, and then we jump over to Sigma. Sigma, right, looks good in the sense that it is now working to build a structure to get us out of here. So inefficiency gaps, inefficiency gaps, inefficiency gaps. So we have all these inefficiency gaps up here to the upside. All we need is that catalyst, bam, XRP to start leaving the train station. And with that, this will ultimately lead to a breakout to the upside, and we can start, in fact, actually getting out of here. One more good thing about XRP too, going into our 24-hour liquidity is at 197 today. So if we can keep that liquidity playing and we get everything bouncing through here, that 197, whoops, let's go over here. There we go. 197 level could be attacked, and that would get us back up above this guy, which is the one that we want to clear. So we want to get back up to at least 203. We see 203 for XRP over the weekend. We're good. We're looking great, guys. So that is really the answer for where we are today. And hopefully that was helpful on the overall picture of the market today. And we can then check in tomorrow, and hopefully we've gotten to the levels we need. Thanks so much. We'll check in tomorrow.